guys, just giving my quick thoughts on Space Jam 2. It was okay. Definitely doesn't beat the original, but yeah, it was okay. Kind of like how it started though. Seeing LeBron James as a kid and how his coach, I guess, pushed him to be the best instead of, playing video games, which I guess that's how, I don't know if that's how LeBron James was actually, introduced to Bugs Bunny and that from a game instead of the Looney Tunes shows, but maybe he did watch them, but he kind of had to focus more on basketball and, he became one of the best basketballers of all time. And now in the present day, his son's like someone who creates games, but, LeBron James wants him to be, the next big basketballer, but, his son wants different things, which it would have been better if his son was played by his actual son, also with the wife, yeah, played by the person from The Walking Dead and Star Trek Discovery, yeah. Like, it would have been better if he actually got his real family. But, yeah, it's okay anyway. Whatever with that. Yeah. I mean, it would have made sense, but, oh well. Also, what else? I guess the main villain, who plays War Machine in the Marvel movies, like, I guess he was an okay villain. I kind of prefer the old ones compared to the new villain. I mean, he still did a good job, but, yeah, old ones were better. Also, they did use some of the real basketballers for the villains as well, instead of the people that we had, that the Looney Tunes were going against in the first movie. They were just some random characters that were made for the movie, but I kind of prefer that instead. It was still cool to see them, but I don't know, like the CGI when we actually got to the matches. Yeah, it was one big match, but yeah, I don't know. It looked weird. Also, seeing Bugs Bunny and the gang in CGI was weird too. Yeah. But I'll get more into that later. Because I need to, talk about how, everything starts. Because, yeah, basically, the son was making a game. He actually made a game that he hadn't released yet. Like, he was going to go to some E3 thing to, get things, well, show his game to the people. But, he didn't really sort things out with his dad. So when he brings up in like a thing that, because LeBron James goes to this thing from Warner Brothers, which, the main villain algorithm kind of set things up, and, LeBron James denied it. And that's when the villain kind of makes LeBron James and his whole family, well, not his whole family straight away, like the son and LeBron into this, well, basically into the son's game. Well, into the Warnerverse, basically, at first. But I guess they have access to everything digital, I guess. Especially for what happens later on, but yeah. Yeah, that was cool, actually getting to see Harry Potter world, Matrix, and just all these kind of different places. Even like seeing the Justice League, like Justice League Unlimited, that was pretty cool because I was a huge DC fan back in the day when I was a kid. Before I even liked Marvel, like DC was easily the best. It's because of the movies where I started to become more of a Marvel fan, but actually getting to see the Justice League Unlimited was cool. Even the mask a bit in the audience, I kind of wish he got like a proper scene because that's probably like that would have been like really like more cool. But oh well. Game of Thrones, like there's so many cameos in this movie. Pennywise from It, like there's so many cameos to spot that I guess gives you something to look at. Rick and Morty, because basically when they're getting the gang together, like basically Bugs Bunny has been alone since I don't even know how long, because basically the algorithm made all the others go to like all these different Warner verses, Matrix and all that, and basically when LeBron enters, the world, the Oneverse, he kind of gets like algorithm sends him to, you know, the Looney Tune world, and then we see that, Bugs Bunny's been alone all this time, so he was happy to see, I guess, LeBron James of all people. They kind of mess around for a bit, but then it kind of like Bugs Bunny explains everything that happened to him, and how he wants to, get his old gang back together because they're family. Lol. Yeah. So they basically steal that Martian spaceship, which it was good to see him. Yeah, for that little scene. That was cool. And basically recruit everyone back by going into all these different worlds, like I mentioned before. And it's kind of funny with the Rick and Morty one because they didn't even have to go to Rick and Morty. Like, he was just like, Rick and Morty was just like, we can't deal with Taz, so like, here you go, because you know how wild Taz can be. Oh, I kind of like the Granny one as well when they go into the Matrix world, but then the Granny's just like, I guess she's the one. Hello, yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was some cool scenes. Yeah, the Justice League one was really cool with Daffy Duck. Yeah, yeah, there were cool scenes, but then straight after that, yeah, when you see the first part of the match, I mean, it was okay. I mean, obviously, I guess the villains are winning at first, and you know they seem down. Oh yeah, I didn't really mention about one thing from Lola. You know, basically like she was in like some Wonder Woman comic, which was cool. She was trying to become an Amazon from Wonder Woman by doing these trials. And I kind of like how they played the Wonder Woman theme. I love that theme, man, from the because I'm not really a big fan of the Wonder Woman movies, but I definitely love that theme. That's like one of the best superhero themes I've ever heard, easily. That's one thing I can take from the Wonder Woman movies that I love. Because I do like, you know, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Like, she's a great Wonder Woman. Like, I wouldn't really want to cast anyone else as her. It's just that the people who make the movies, like her solo movies, because in Batman vs Superman, she was the best thing. But I'm kind of getting off topic right now. I'm getting all these notifications right now. But yeah, I just wish she would get like a solid, you know, movie. Because I know a lot of people love the first one, second one's divided, third one. I just want like it to be like one that you could just love, like you know, Thor Ragnarok. Because the first two Thor movies, yeah, they're not great. The third one was awesome, so let's hope Wonder Woman can get the same thing. Yep. But yeah, back to Lola. Because basically Lola was doing some trial to become an Amazon. I guess Bugs Bunny and LeBron kind of get in the way of that. And they kind of make her fail, but you know, they basically get in danger. She saves them, and then I guess she's classed as an Amazon from Wonder Woman after she did that. Yeah. Using her Wonder Woman whip, I guess, that Lola had. Yeah, that was a cool scene. I love that one. But yeah, they basically have the whole team together. I guess I kind of thought like how LeBron acts through like the first half, first second half, the first two acts of the movie. He just seems bossy, even with his son. I don't think he'd be like that in real life. Also with the Looney Tunes, like you'd think he'd be happy to see the Looney Tunes, like I would be, like how Michael Jordan was in the first movie, like he was so excited to actually talk to the Looney Tunes, man. It's the Looney Tunes, but instead it's just like, man, these are my teammates, because basically his son got kidnapped from the algorithm, so I guess you could understand why he's trying to, you know, win at all costs, because, you know, his son's in danger right now. Well, even though the son's having a good time with the algorithm at first, because he seems friendly and actually seems like he actually cares for him, because I guess the son thinks like he thinks that, you know, his dad doesn't really care about what he actually wants, and he's pushed him to do something he doesn't want to do. Yeah. So that's why it's like more on the algorithm side at first. Yeah. And for the rest of the movie, I'm probably going to talk about spoilers now. So yeah, spoilers. So I'm just going to give it a rating before I talk about spoilers, though. Oh, this is a hard one. It's between 6.8 and a 7. I'll probably give it a 7. Yeah, that's the highest I can go. Like I can't go any higher. I'm just happy it wasn't an awful movie. I still enjoyed it. I'd probably watch it again, but you know, the first movie is just it's just too good compared to this one. I mean, it was the second one was still good, but the first movie way better. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about spoilers now. In 3, 2, 1. All right. So yeah, it's just spoilers now. Okay. So where should I start from? I guess after the first part of the match. You know, when they're just losing badly. Like there's a scene where it seems like they need like a proper voice to, you know, motivate them so they can actually, you know, win. Because they're in a situation where if they lose, you know, I guess, because basically the algorithm kind of kidnaps not just the son, but basically everyone who's a fan of LeBron James and watching the stream. Because I guess algorithm wants to be known. That's his main goal in this movie. Because people just never really noticed like what is actually done for Warner Brothers, like all the things that he made. Like I guess he made Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, all these other things from Warner Brothers, and I guess everyone else gets the credit instead of him because it's like a computer thing. So he kind of made this whole situation to get noticed, and beating LeBron James would definitely get him noticed. But yeah, we all know how that goes at the end. Also, what the nanny did, like that scene where it seems like they kill off Bugs Bunny, like I was gonna be like, what? That's how you're gonna end it? Like, because basically, like LeBron James has this special move that can, I guess, make everything glitch, even the main threat, the algorithm. Oh yeah, and something that could have been a good twist with the son, being with algorithm and actually playing against, his dad, LeBron James. Imagine if they saved that for the end. I mean, they could have still included some things at the end where the makeup and stuff, but just not knowing that that was going to be a twist, like making it seem like the son's a hostage, but then he comes out, actually, playing against his dad. That'd be crazy if they did it right, but oh well. And like I said before, the CGI, it doesn't look right. And why did they even do that CGI for the Looney Tunes characters? Like, that was kind of pointless. Because, at the end, when it's all over, the Looney Tunes got in real life, but the cartoons, instead of, CGI to look like in real life, like, that was kind of pointless. I kind of preferred how they did it in the first movie. They were just cartoons for, like, the whole time. I mean, back in the 90s, that wouldn't even look right anyway, if they tried to do, like, make him look realistic. I mean, I've done that in The Simpsons, but by the time that episode came where Homer Simpson was in real life, I think that was like in the 2000s, so they could make it look a little bit better, but it still looked weird in that episode. But yeah, doing it with the Looney Tunes characters and just everything else, like the villains as well, with the real life basketball players, that looked weird as well. I mean, some scenes were cool, like with the fast one, like with going against the world winner. That was a cool scene. It was like a flash quicksilver moment. That was cool. But yeah, it's just CGI, especially when you got to the final part with algorithm. Like basically, when he kind of makes up with the son. Basically, when the son makes up with his dad, he kind of goes to the Looney Squad because who doesn't want to be on the Looney Squad, especially when algorithm's starting to lose the match, and he just like flips out. Like that's the moment where he's like, "I'd rather be with my dad right now." Yeah. Then he just turns into some big monster thing, like from the first movie, but awful CGI, awful man. Look at Thanos in Infinity War and Endgame compared to what they do with the main villain in this. It's just the difference. The CGI is so bad. I'm sorry, it's really bad. I'm sorry, no. That's a step down from Infinity War, which they're not both just tied to the same thing. That's Marvel. This is like Warner Brothers, and them trying to do CGI in that way with Looney Tunes characters, and just what they did with the villain at the end, it just looked terrible. Like if I was gonna rewatch the movie, yeah, having to look at that bad CGI, it got really bad. I'm sorry. The CGI is the weakest part of the movie. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the scene with where it seems like they was gonna get Michael Jordan, but they got Michael B. Jordan instead because they needed like some motivation. But the cat kind of got the one person, and Michael B. Jordan instead, which that would have been a great scene. Seeing Michael Jordan kind of motivate him because it makes sense, from the things that he does now. Like yeah, that would have been a great scene, but oh well, because even LeBron James was getting happy to see him as well. But Michael B. Jordan instead, which still a cool cameo, but that's not what we wanted. We didn't want a cameo. We wanted we wanted a true person from the first movie to come and give him a good motivational speech, but instead, just a little cameo, joke cameo. Yeah. But at the end, they still kind of pull things back together, and it seems like there's a moment where they're going to lose because the algorithm basically starts cheating, but then the person who actually made the game cheats back, and they defeat the algorithm. And before it seems like because Bugs Bunny is the one who does that glitch move that makes the algorithm glitch, but it seems like because when you do that move, you get deleted, which means you could die, and it seems like it was going to kill off Bugs Bunny in an endgame fashion as well. But luckily he survives because he's Bugs Bunny. Yeah. Other than that, because yeah, at the end, basically all of them go to the real life and stay with LeBron James. Yeah, that's how it ends. Everybody goes back to the world and everything. Yeah, everything works out. I didn't even really talk about one character who's supposed to watch him, like LeBron James and his kid, like that guy, because he just gets left out of most of the movie. He's just like something to have like a joke about. So I'm not really going to talk about him. Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, it was okay. A bit above okay. It was good, I guess. Yeah. Definitely to rewatch the first one because the first one's a better movie. Yeah. Like I said, I rated it a 7 out of 10, and that's the highest I can go. Happy didn't, rate it worse because I want to see what people think about this movie, man. Yeah. Because I feel like it would have been worse if they actually killed off Bugs Bunny. Like, what? Because he would have had a depressing storyline for this second movie. Because being left alone for who knows how long, and then killing him off at the end when he gets his family back together after all this time, like, that would have been messed up. Yeah. I mean, I was still surprised with that storyline anyway, but yeah. But yeah, it was good, I guess. I guess that's my review. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.